Greetings and welcome to Die Dragon Die Presents Enter the Dungeon. I'm your DM host Marty. This is episode 21 and we are joined by the full Ontario crew. How is everyone doing tonight? Your mics are now hot.
Feeling hot.
I'm trying. Oh god. I'm theoretically doing that Movember thing, and it just looks like my face is dirty. I'm at the your face is dirty stage.
Hey, dude, you got something to know.
Your face is dirty.
There's some on your face.
It's. I don't know. This is. We'll see what 30 days looks like.
Fox Drakester, how goes on this fine Tuesday evening?
Yo, guys, what's going on? Good to see you.
All right, we've got Dirty Face Adam. What's going on with you, Ahmed? Do you have anything, mildly humorous to talk about? Perhaps pet related?
Why does this always happen? So I was having
Pet related.
I was having a bonding moment with my old cat that can't see very well, and feeding it through a little.
Okay,
tube.
I was putting that towards Adam, but it goes for you too. I don't care about your cat. How was your day?
Because it affected my day, goddammit. Little
Tell
fucker
the
bit
story
me.
without your cat.
Little fucker bit me. Couldn't tell the difference between a finger and a tube, and he just went for it. Anyway.
Why would your cat be going for a tube? I'm curious now. You've invested in the story.
Because it's an old cat, so you get this little kitten food, right? And it's a little smush stuff in a little tube, and it's eating it, and it's biting down. And it couldn't get the last
to him
piece.
like a bird. You just suck it up in the sun, and spit it out to him like a little bird.
Oh, fuck. There you go. That's some bonding. Anyway, an hour and a bit later in the hospital, and I was out. And that was fun.
Wait, your cat sent you to the hospital?
No, my wife did.
Your wife?
I would have checked it tomorrow morning, like, still good.
The cat sent him to the washroom.
An elderly cat.
Oh,
sent
dude,
you
no,
to
no,
the
no,
hospital.
no, this is fucking.
This is
funny.
a cat that needs to eat through a tube.
This is funny.
apparently.
I'm in the
And it
hospital.
sent you to the hospital.
I'm in the hospital.
Marcus
I'm in
Punchy
the
tonight.
hospital.
Marcus Punchy.
Listen to this. Listen to this. I'm in a hospital, right? And like there's a lady, the nurse talking to me, and this other lady, the back of her leg is all torn up.
Yeah.
Like it's like she's gauzed up and tied up, right? And the nurse is like, how are you feeling? I'm like, well, better than her, right? And she heard, like I was saying, like, what happened? I got bit by a cat. The lady's like, you got bit by a cat too? I look at her, I'm like, yeah, but mine's not so bad. She's like fucking dragging her leg around and shit. I ask her, what the hell happened to you? She's like, is it your cat? Like, what the fuck happened? She's like, yeah, I have a cat, and someone sent me a card, and when you open it, it made cat sounds. Like, meow, meow, meow. But then it screwed up and made a weird sound, and the cat lost it, and just went crazy on her.
There's a bunch of really good movies in the theaters. Yeah, I'm gonna go to the hospital for the cat bite. Go watch a movie.
It's funny because I'm 22, like 100
And the cat's still in good shape, man. He's jumping around. And
you got beat up by a I don't even know what the word adectogenarian or whatever the fuck it is.
the cat doesn't care, man. He's still going.
It's owns a genarian or whatever the fuck.
Octogenarian is 80.
Is 80.
Yeah.
Non-genarian.
Yeah.
It's
And
usually
then-
14 is when they die.
A centennial? A centennial would be
It
over.
would be a centennial.
Yeah.
What the fuck's a 110-year-old?
11 Z's.
An ancient cat put Ahmed in the hospital. That is fun to me. I don't know. I think that's fun.
You didn't get bit by a tiger. That's why I was asking, Mark. That's why I was asking. How was your day, Mark?
Well, I didn't get attacked by an elderly feline, so better than Ahmed. Was the cat also a 15th level monk and it hit you with a quivering palm? Oh, no. It's not a lot of damage, but he could kill me at any time.
It would be hilarious if sorry, it wouldn't be hilarious, but it would be a little bit hilarious if it like got the deep staph infection or one of those like I'm not going to go, and then your wife is right, and you're done. Game
Yeah,
over.
that's the-
You're fucked for the next decade.
God damn it.
I will be honest with you. I would very much have liked to have been a fly on the wall for the conversation when your wife sends you to the hospital for a cat.
No, she saw him. She's like, I'm like washing my finger. Like, what happened? Like, no, I'm just cleaning my finger. Why are you bleeding? Oh, because I got bit. What? When did this happen? About 8 hours ago. They bite deep, man. They bite real deep. Like... Anyway.
No, I'll be the first to admit, like I've been scratched by cats, and I don't know what it is about their claws, but it hurts. It really does hurt.
No, they tear, dude.
Yeah.
They tear. They don't just scratch. They like go, aha, hook. It's like a zipper.
I still never went to the hospital. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. No, doctor's like, a scratch, you wouldn't come in. A bite, good thing you came in.
Let me shove all these needles in your ass. One of these, one of those,
Yeah, give me-
one of these, and have one of
No,
those.
no. This gets better. Actually, reminded me. So they gave me a tetanus shot. I tell my wife, yeah, when I'm driving home, like, yeah, they gave me a tetanus shot. They're like, you got one less than a year ago. I did?
Just in case the cat's teeth were made out of steel.
Deal.
Keeps going.
Rusty wrought iron.
So an hour later, she calls me. She's like, hey, good news. I'm like, about what? About your tetanus. Oh, okay. It's not dangerous. Oh, okay. Wasn't going to go to the hospital again. Fuck that.
Let's be honest.
Just dodged 7 hours of waiting.
Ahmed is a sturdy dude. I'm pretty certain a double dosage of whatever a normal, like a thing that isn't done by body size, you could probably take it.
We are not doctors on this show.
We're not doctors in this show. Yeah.
But my brother's a doctor.
That doesn't matter. At no point during this conversation
Gives me
did you
some
say
credibility.
no.
Now let me give you some tax advice, people.
You should file them. How about that advice? File your taxes.
File your taxes.
And if you're at all confused, go find an accountant.
Well, my brother's an architect,
My
sorta.
dad's an accountant.
Don't worry, that doesn't look load bearing.
Looks fine from all his drawings I saw.
Drawings. I'm just using my my creds at my brother's sort
I
of
like
an
to
architect.
eyeball shit. That's an architect I am.
Oh, we're quickly approaching Darwin Awards here. All right, last episode was called Celebrity. The party explores the Grand Bali Circus, rubbing elbows with the cultists and strange carnival staff. Ptolemy gets a familiar. Krieger participates in a competition of strength against an ogre and an Etten. The party speaks to a bearded devil who thinks them as celebrities. Alkur restores the memories of the last Sphinx. Darian visits Isolde, the holy leader of the circus itself. After a day at the circus, the party sneaks back into the temple to help the rescued captives and to take a look around while most of the denizens are distracted. And I believe we left off after you guys fought a mighty CR-10 roper.
That was a bad time.
And one thing I was going to do is add to the list of uses for hero points that you can reduce a condition by 1. Where did we put this? DM stuff? No. Characters? No. Party pages?
There's a lot of conditions out there.
Meta. Hero points. You could get a focus point, or you could reduce a condition by 1 stage. Any condition by 1 stage, and we'll see how that plays out. Some of the conditions are definitely worse than others. Speaking of conditions, I think some of you are enfeebled after your fight with the roper, and I will give you 1 hero point each for good role-playing in the last few games. To choose, you need to choose which one of your characters gets the extra 1.
Darian's been suffering now, so I think he's still got that enfeebled. Enfeebled 2, I think he's still got.
Yeah, Darian's enfeebled 2 and Crusher's enfeebled 1.
Yeah, I'll give him
I know
Okay.
it says he's got slow, enfeebled, clumsy, but that's all.
Was that from the... So the enfeebled is from the roper, right?
Yeah, the roper done good you.
Got it.
I think the ropers are less deadly than the ropers in 3.5 or First Ed.
Well, I
They're
think it
still
depends on
fucking
how many
terrible.
people it's fighting.
Still really bad.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, they're still bad. You guys searched around this chamber, which looks like a crafting bench. Alkur has memories of him being in this room and crafting things. In fact, he knows where all the tools are. Some of them are still in the spots where he expects, and he found a book
Yep.
of his own creation of formulas that he now remembers after flipping through the book. And you get to choose what formulas they are. I think I gave you the number and the levels already. There is a considerable amount of crafting material in this room. I don't know if you guys are spending even more time bagging this stuff, or
we're moving.
this place is actively used. Like, it doesn't have dust in it, at least not on the main surfaces. Like, people actively are using this particular area.
Perhaps they won't notice the dead roper.
I suspect they will.
I don't know. He's sleeping. He looks like he's sleeping rather peacefully. Goo coming out of a bunch of orifices and new ones.
Doesn't look like it's. How do you sleep?
The flaming sphere eventually, well, I guess that had gone away because you guys spent some time resting in this chamber. I think we said it was around 6 or 7 at night.
Yes.
Okay.
We still got. Oh yeah, that was our thing. Do we continue or do we go to the?
Try to do something with the pumpkin seed.
Yeah, you know that
Yes,
at
that's
some
right.
time tonight, and you were told around midnight, the pumpkin seed a ceremony would happen, and then you guys are concerned about the 20 or so captives that are in the wagons outside.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard you said you wanted to be around for the divvying.
Well, we want to at least save our 5 or so.
Right. And then, I don't know, Ahmed, if you pick this up, Alkur and Bone Crusher seem very concerned that this connection with the temple, which is this...
He's gonna show, like, let her know that we're doing stuff.
Yeah, although you can... When you concentrate on it, you can hear the whispers and feel the presences of other creatures in your head. You know which direction you mentally go in to go and visit her. What you don't know is if anyone can listen in onto your thoughts. The two of you can converse telepathically effectively.
That's pretty cool.
We'll say it's one action to turn on, and it lasts until you decide to turn it off, which is one action.
One action on, one action off.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. So if I just leave it running, he's gonna be punch.
It's still there. You could still feel that it's there, but it's like one action to project your voice into into the space.
Yeah.
Now, can he hear me if he tried without me letting him?
You don't know. You have not
I'm gonna
tried.
ask him to try. We're gonna have to test that.
Okay, Alkur's going to attempt to force his will upon the feeble and mentally weak Bone Crusher.
Okay, give me a spell attack versus Crusher's will DC.
Alright.
You could
will DC?
Yep, 10 plus your will save. You can feel who you recognize as Alkur forcing his way towards you.
Yep, it's in.
Okay, Alkur. It does not feel good, as Alkur's psyche went crashing into yours.
Okay. Now, can I kick him out?
I think I credit. Is that
No. 24, dude.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, Alkur's mind forces its way into Bone Crusher's head. What were you thinking about Bone Crusher while this was going on?
I wonder if this will make us vulnerable or give us an advantage.
Okay, you catch the last part of that, and you get the sense that Crusher is worried about being vulnerable, and that it was not a pleasant experience for him to have your brain crashing into his.
From within his mind.
No, but I can tell he's there.
Yep. You also took
Okay.
2 mental damage when he did that.
I took 2 mental damage when he came into my mind.
Yes,
What
forcefully.
does that mean?
You take 2 physical
damage?
2 damage.
2
yeah.
damage. It is mental type.
Can I force him out?
You notice that Bone Crusher has like a little bit of a bleeding nose.
Can I try to
believe
force him
I've
out?
forced my way into your mind.
Yes, you were successful. I can feel it. I'm going to try to force you out, alright? We'll see if someone invades us, can we try to force them out?
Take a mental defensive stance.
All right, go ahead and
Scanner,
roll.
the
You roll
scanner
your
is
class attack power, which would be any of your mentals. So 10 plus your level plus 2 plus your wisdom, if that's your highest.
10 plus why 2?
He's 10, 10, 10. For trained.
Oh. 1d20 plus 10 plus level plus 2 plus 2.
You may want to write this number down.
Yeah. 30?
That beats my will DC.
Okay, so he ejects you from his mind. He pushes you back, kind of in the center of that space.
So DC to enter or defend?
And you took
Ahmed, how did you get a plus 7?
10 plus...
Oh, 10 plus, 10 plus level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, why is there a plus, is there a plus 10 in that? Yeah. I don't
Oh
know.
no, there's
10
not a
plus-
there's not a plus
There's
10
no
in
plus
there.
10.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that like
So
a 9
that-
shouldn't succeed.
10 is
That
10 is
30 is a
DC. Yeah, so that doesn't succeed.
No.
So Alkur is there is definitely a struggle. You guys spend kind of like an action. Well, he spends an action trying to force you out.
I'm still here.
Oh, so it's just 7 plus 2 plus 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so
I'm still
level...
here.
Hey, if you're in there, try and move his arm.
Alkur
Actually,
will try
yeah.
to move his arm.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, like, just
all right, go ahead. Give me your mental attack roll. Who suggested that? Was that Krieger?
Yeah, that was Krieger.
21. I don't think I moved his
No,
arm.
no. You're watching these two eggheads like stare at each other. Crusher's got a bleeding nose from concentrating too hard.
Krieger's chuckling. This is how nerds fight. They think at each other.
Oh, well, maybe we should all drink the juice, Sis told me.
No.
Yeah, there was no... You didn't even... Crusher, there was no danger of him inhabiting your body.
Okay.
Alkur thinks theoretically it's possible, but it would have to be such a overwhelming display of mental will against a very small, relatively small opponent that...
We're talking like critical successes required or something.
Yeah, but the fact that you are exploring things that might be in the realm of possibility scares you a little.
Mm-hmm.
You do notice that there's a cluster of 4 that seem to be in a conversation right now. There are more than that in there. You don't have an exact count, but there's a communion going on, and you haven't been invited. Like someone's using this power.
Is there...
It is not close to Zuktmoy. She's way off to the left, like far, far away. She feels far away, but ever present.
All right, I'm going to go into the closet.
Okay, so you extract yourself from
I
Crusher's mind.
I extract myself from
Okay.
Crusher's mind.
Crusher, do you let him go?
I'm kind of I'm trying to understand how this works. Yeah. Let him go.
Okay. You saw that there may have been an opportunity to like grapple minds in there.
Mm.
So
No, he was in my mind. It didn't mean I was in his mind. Or there.
your minds were close. It definitely felt like Alkur was in your head.
question I think he's asking is,
Could I have read
was
his
it
thoughts?
Alkur taking over his mind, or was
No,
it like
he
their
was
minds
just
meshing?
he forced his presence there. You did not get anything from his presence. You knew it was Alkur. It felt very invasive, and you read nothing from him. You were reading stuff from Bone Crusher.
We must be careful. We just got these powers and we're playing around with them. We don't know how long the others have had them for.
Alkur from the weird disemboweling closet or whatever this is.
Yeah, it looks like they're in the middle of some sort of anatomical dissection of something that has been heavily preserved, perhaps with necromancy. It still twitches a little bit, even though it shouldn't.
What is it? Who does it look like? Do I recognize any features, face, anything like that?
Yep, the nails are long and dirty and thick, suggesting half-orc in origin.
What about the sternum?
The sternum has already been operated on.
It's removed. Is the skull still there?
Nope. But by the length of the torso, you're probably thinking it's closer to Bone Crusher's size than it is Shadow's size.
And this was my workshop. Or some shop that I use that other people also use. I don't know if we're going to tell them about that part.
This little shop of horrors is mine.
Hey. All right, I am going
Correct.
to...
When you put Bone Crusher's body there, he was still alive, or not? He was still intact. You remember bits and pieces of what you were trying to do.
What was I trying to do?
You were trying to bring Bone Crusher back without waiting for the next iteration. The problem you were having, however, is that you only dabbled as a cleric.
Oh, I was more wizard than cleric.
Yes.
I was confused on that iteration. I apparently didn't look at what healing rules were like in this on that try.
You remember your thought process. Maybe I could make him better. Maybe I could make him a flesh golem of himself.
Put the gem right on his forehead.
Yeah, this looks like it's been highly neglected, although whatever arcane energy you wove into his body is still kind of rippling there slightly as you get a little twitch from one of the legs and, a ripple from some flesh under his rib cage. Somebody has obviously come by here and reused bits of it, carved them off for whatever purpose.
And I think we read that you now can't make flesh golems anymore. Like, it's now like the DM story, blah blah blah, flesh golem, something hard to do.
Yeah, I think they're. I don't think they're detailed, but we'd have to double check.
I would argue that the cost of making golems, because I gave Phineas the craft construct feat, is so prohibitive versus their benefit. It's just it's almost pointless.
The part that you did not see is that you could spend more money to put more hit dice in them.
But the +5 4-bolt sword to put on your barbarian
right,
is more
yes.
effective.
Yeah, it's more effective.
Yeah.
Way more effective.
Yeah. Don't worry, we have ways of fixing that.
Headlopper. All right. Alkur doesn't know if he's going to tell Crusher about this.
I'll make a little note
Definitely
here.
when he's in a really good mood or when he's really hurt. One of the two.
Bone Crusher Flesh Golem?
Yeah.
Question mark. And Alkur, a wizard. If you were a wizard, that means you have a spell book. It's not here. But then again, you don't think you stayed here. This is a workshop, not a bedroom.
I wouldn't have died working. I would have died doing all those other things you need to do in between work.
Must bring Crusher back. It's probably not how it went.
All right, so some of you still have a lot of damage on your tokens. I don't know if that has been slowly recouped over time with several
much?
hours. I think you rested for a couple of hours.
Oh, then I
So
think
Darian could have gotten
we're
that.
all topped off.
Okay,
For hit points, yeah.
this is
Conditions, nah.
this is Darian using his lay on hands.
Yep.
Okay.
And Crusher playing Duketer.
And Crusher is enfeebled too.
Crusher's
One.
enfeebled 1 now.
Okay.
Okay, are you putting that on my token somewhere? Or?
Just
I put in your character sheet at the top. You're supposed to put on the token.
You said feeble. What the hell?
Yeah, you're feeble 1. Okay, in the safety of the dark closet with the Crusher Golem. Don't worry, we have a new brain that we can stick in it, and now it will be complete.
can you give me a medicine check or a nature check, as you were obviously looking at the Crusher Golem?
Yes. I don't know how to finish it.
The big question is, what kind of abomination does Crusher think it is once we get this thing going?
22.
I just sent you a note.
Oh, that raised eyebrow.
Interesting. Wonder how he accomplished such a feat.
Was he furry? Does he look like he's got not actually Crusher, but something else? Huh? Huh? Bear blood somewhere?
Yeah, that's the smell of bear blood.
What is it, lassie? You found the path to how to become lycanthrope? Some learning? Cool.
Alright, Alkur is going to attempt to listen to the group
Okay.
of 4.
Yep. So you wander over. You're attempting to eavesdrop as opposed to go and interject. It's like the 4 are this cluster of minds that are close together, like they're all touching.
I am going to inquire as to the time of the divvying. So I'm interjecting.
Okay. Let me see which one.
Don't be water guy, don't be water guy, don't be water guy.
All right. We will divvy soon. You hear a voice. It sounds like the air curate or prelate by the name of Kalno. You kind of bumped up against his intellect. He says soon, and you do notice that he's almost like spreading the little orbit of 4 minds, so for you to come in. You're being invited to the circle.
Alright, I will listen at the circle.
Okay, are you going into the circle, or are you trying to like listen while not touching?
While you're in the circle, don't picture all the death and carnage we caused while we were up there.
I will go in the circle.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the external temple exterior because it's actually 4 people that are really close together physically. Where is Alkur?
Why don't you just use your outside voice?
So what's awesome is that this is going into a plane.
Like an airplane?
All right.
Demi-plane.
Canon Belsorig, his mind is quite strong. He is very tricky, and as soon as you appear your fire temple, he decides to step away from the conversation. Like he melts away like water itself, kind of running down a drain. This leaves a wispy and very polite presence, although it is quite there is some power behind it. There is a very, very obviously wicked and imposing presence, and then there's this tower of indomitable will. The tower of indomitable will, you can tell its gaze is falling upon you. It is like a massive iron pillar that just simply pivots upon the earth to look at you. Well, we've got fire temple here, says a very just broiling in anger. It could be a manifestation of not only his being, but also not only of his mind, but perhaps of his physiology, given that he's some sort of tiefling. He is pretty much hate incarnate.
Tastes like black licorice.
Tastes like black licorice. Fire temple is always welcome. I did not think that you would respond so well.
It took a while to get used to her blessings, although the poison of the water temple did make it difficult.
The Supreme Commander wishes to know how many of the sacrifices are you going to donate to the Greater Temple? It is getting more difficult by the day to lure those elementals.
What is tradition?
Half of your share.
Perception, you sense motive?
Sure, yeah, give me a sense motive. Like, or what is it, perception?
Yeah.
I think it's perception, which is...
Half is agreeable. This is the prefect.
$34.
Half is the... They seem to have no reason to lie right in front of him. Although you get the sense that he's going to... that he was hoping for more. They were looking for you to give more.
If half is tradition, then half is what it will be.
Very well. Half. And you could tell that he was looking over at the inscrutable mind of the indomitable will that is the Supreme Commander. Such an intense stash.
Yes. He's well endowed in the stash department.
I wish to speak to Alkur alone. Yes, Supreme Commander. Are you sure? We have still not ascertained that, and it's almost like he went, flick. and the wind guy was expecting it, and he kind of blew away in your mind, but you did get the sense that Barkarnar was sent tumbling head over heels in the mindscape. The Tower of Indomitable Will just shifts slightly to look down upon you. You feel small against his greatness.
Alkur will mentally attempt to stand tall and proud.
Okay.
I've got a big brain.
All right.
My brain is big.
Do you want to roll a mental check or a intimidate check?
I would like to roll a mental check, please.
Okay.
Just a trained mental score check or like an attack roll with the or how do you?
Okay, so Kenny's asking, the prefect of air Kelno is some sort of druid or cleric of the element air. This guy is a priest of Zuktmoy. This guy is the supreme commander of the Temple of Elemental Evil. And the guy above is some sort of priest of the Water Temple. Now, they may simply have domains associated with those elements. They may have other religions. Okay, what was the roll? 34?
No, I haven't rolled yet.
Oh, okay.
Is it like a mental attack roll?
Yeah, just roll your mental attack roll. You're trying to do some feat in your mind.
23.
Okay, yeah. I am confused, and rarely am so. Zuktmoy. And you can see as he speaks Zuktmoy's name, it's almost like he's wrapped in like a growing black fungus that sort of dies away and grows back, and it's like ensconcing him, surrounding him, kind of at his beck and call. Zuktmoy has spoken to me. She says that you have been here before, yet I find this before me.
Am I this?
Yes. Small and insignificant.
But apparently tenacious.
Tell me what you were doing in the temple before. He's a smidge away from making you tell him.
Well, last time I was here, I was apparently crafting a flesh golem.
That was you. Then I must thank you for teaching our wizards so many spells.
You wouldn't happen to have seen my spell book, would you? I seem to have misplaced it.
Do you even cast spells of the arcane tradition?
I do. Like 3, but that's fine. 3 is more than 0.
It's the equivalent of like, yeah.
Like for sure, you should see my magic missiles. Crazy.
Why have you returned?
Apparently there's unfinished business.
Yes.
Zugut is still trapped in here.
Yes.
I'm wondering who killed me last time I was here.
Oh. This place has a penchant for bringing people back. Are you one of them?
I'm not entirely certain what you mean, but I...
Why is that getting you?
I will laugh my ass off if he gets bit. Ah! Did it bite you?
No, it did not.
Still time. Fuck. It's gonna want to pee again.
Mother. That's right, fucker.
Mark's in a good mood.
Oh, I know how you feel. Except now.
Moving forward.
Why have you returned to the temple? Why destroy the Earth and Fire Temple leadership?
Well,
Don't say it sounded like a good start.
We know who you are now. Why not simply rest on your laurels?
obviously, I must have this internal need to finish unfinished business.
Killing our servants is slowing the schedule down.
One of these servants betrayed me and slew me.
Really? Romag?
I don't know if it was Romag. I wasn't 100% certain of anything. It's a confusing thing, this cycle. The devils that collect the stones. How often do they come here?
He raises an eyebrow. We do.
Mental eyebrow.
Yep. There's a shift in the indomitable will. Curious. We have not had problems with devils for some time. We expect that they may attack, but they don't. We suspect that the devils have cornered our goddess here to study her, or perhaps harness her power. Perhaps that they are no longer strong enough, given the recent successes we've had. Perhaps they have forgotten about their scheme.
Do you have a lump on your sternum? An
Ye-
odd bit of physiology?
Yes,
Do you know what it is?
a gift from my goddess.
Are you sure it's from her?
When I asked her about it, she said so. While I understand that others have other allegiances, know that I care not about your allegiance. I only care about what you can do to help me free her.
I prefer Telsa.
You have a mind for architecture. I read one of your books. How you were drawn to this place because it appeared from nowhere. And that it was built from a...
architecture.
And it was built from the hands of a madman. I always liked that line.
This creation that follows no rhyme or reason. It has intentionally wasteful space It is not the only example of this extraplanar architecture found within Runrak.
Its purpose is to confuse and to confound. Its purpose is the whim of its creator. The purpose was not to hold the goddess, but it became her prison, nevertheless. I will permit the presence of you and your friends, only because you've shaken things up a little bit. You'll find that the other temples will work even harder, and you will deliver what is owed to me from the Earth Temple and the Fire Temple. And if you even have the spells for it, I have work for you to do on the Fire Elemental Plane.
Your voice is too far.
He said, I have work for you to do on the Fire Elemental Plane.
I don't know if he understands what they did to the resistance spells, but they made them
That's
really
a hard
ineffective.
no.
Yeah, heard no.
Given your expertise, and the fact that I know that you've crafted many items that my mages wield even to this day, you will be put to work. Do you understand?
I understand.
Good.
If you're looking for answers on your situation, there is a bearded devil in the circus that might have information for you.
Interesting.
He's wearing his face out in the open, seeking refuge.
Thank you. A bearded devil shouldn't be too hard to ensnare.
Please go to the circus, please go to the circus, please go to the circus. Because we'll have exactly until he leaves the circus to complete whatever we need to complete.
Okay, so the indomitable will that is, oh, I do expect you to be here during the Pumpkin Seed Festival.
No. Just say no.
You and this Bone Crusher. Although I'm not sure what good he is going to provide.
He's a good god.
Yes, Earth Temple. Keep him busy.
You'd be real busy right now. We're off to steal your shit. The shit you left behind.
Then we will run away.
Okay. The tower of indomitable will just shifts and slowly slides away from you. No, it's more like the ground is shifting underneath your feet and moving away from the big castle that is bending and
Gonna put
moving.
my brain back in my body if I could.
Yep. You could hear the air temple and the water temple kind of laughing at you. While they may not have known what they were saying, the fact that you had a one-on-one meeting with the boss.
Alkur's gonna stiff back to head up and it was a good pep talk. Yeah, feeling ready to go out and do evil.
Right, Alkur's like, "Whoa, whoa." You kind of lean back and your hand goes into the rib cage that once was Bone Crusher's body.
Oh, and it's twitching. Oh,
Oh, gross.
how are you slimy after all this time? Where the hell did your skull go?
What floor are we on?
3.
Oh, mother!
Yeah, we did some exploring.
Did exploring.
I'm looking over too. I'm like, I can't find these guys.
So Alkur is going to slowly come out of the closet.
Okay. You can see Darian there resting, but Darian is looking at the 2 gems, the green gems that he has now 2 of 3 of the sword called the Answerer. One he found from the spirit of his grandfather, which he wonders now, was that even his grandfather? And if it was, did his victories from long ago condemn his entire line of family to this strange hell? And then 2 from a angelic lover who has sacrificed herself to keep the powers of a murdered god at bay from infecting the multiverse, whom he does not remember having carnal relations. And then a strange sense of, it's here. The Answerer can only be wielded by one such as you. And you think it's on this level? Okay, you see Alkur with a slimy hand and a weird look at his face.
Gentlemen, we might have a potential window of opportunity as the Supreme Commander, who is not to be trifled with, investigates that bearded devil that we spoke with earlier. We are expected to attend the Apple Seed and...
Pumpkin seed.
Pumpkin Seed. How are you feeling, Crusher? Good.
Alright, I'm still affected by the rope there, but I'll recover.
Alright,
You're safe, don't worry.
Oh... you don't get... So, I have a question of morality. Again, obviously, this place is a permanent moral crisis.
Oh yes, but Squish and I fit right into my temple.
Before you can call it your temple.
He pulls Squish back defensively away from from Darian. Don't you dare!
So, we are left with a conundrum. The demoness does know of our presence, others have been alerted. We are currently acting uncivilly here, and we need to make a decision whether we are doing a long play or short. I doubt that my faith would withstand a long play here.
You want to know my opinion?
Yes.
A short play would not succeed. For one reason, they have more than their numbers are too great. So is their power.
You do understand that a long play would require the sacrificing of innocence?
This I understand, but
I
I do
can't
not
abide
think.
that.
I do not think a long place is. I think we have more than those 2 solutions. Why don't we go and obtain? Why don't we obtain the mad one? Free him from the mental prison. This is the asylum.
And what would the mad one... How would the mad one help?
Provide us with more information. He knows more about this temple and what has happened before, what failed, and what succeeded. That information's invaluable.
What mad one?
The beautiful. There.
They're beautiful.
Oh, the one that we stuck up in the monastery,
Correct.
like a month away.
Yes.
Yes.
So we would have to let the pumpkin seed occur and then fight whatever monster is unleashed.
Destroy the pumpkin seed. Free the crazy man. Find out what information he knows. We still don't know what this layer looks like.
Knowledge shambling mound? Thing? Nature?
What are you trying to ask?
How would I kill a shambling mound in a way that would be like preferably one action or two?
I think you already realized don't use electricity.
Weed X.
We need Roundup.
Who gave it Miracle Grow?
Chia.
I don't know of a plan that will satisfy our morality that will allow us to survive till morning.
Kenny. Get a herd of trained goats. They'll eat anything. Well, that was strangely simple.
Throw some balsamic vinaigrette on it. Have at you. I have no... I know that I am tested in this place, and I know that I have failed before.
Don't worry. Alkur, Squish believes in you.
None of us will be able to stay for the long game, as you suggest.
Alkur, like, let's not roll his eyes, but has this, like, Alkur knows that he can do the long game. He's done it before. He's done the really long game before, apparently. There's probably Mecha Alkur in here somewhere. His brain inside an iron golem was like Krang.
Not only did you die, but you made yourself a lich.
I like at least one of those ideas.
We don't want either of those.
You're your own phylactery.
I am.
Oh, that is awesome.
That is,
Technically, your body is kind of like a normal living creature's
it's like a
phylactery.
phylactery. Thing that holds your soul. So the decision is kind of abrupt. Do we do something untowards? Do we do something cowardly? Or do we do something that is distasteful?
I will not abide any sacrifices.
We will not succeed the way we are right now. We need more power or help or specific items. That sword that Darian is looking for instance. What other items do the rest of us need? The beautiful might know their location.
I need my spell book.
He might know where that is as well.
So, what do we do immediately now?
Yes, that is. We're at a key juncture. Do we?
Should we get Shadow for this?
We certainly would. Look at. Where the fuck are you?
Squish, go get Shadow. this abomination of nature bumps you in the back of the head, and flies away.
Shadow casts inner prey.
Doom lowly growls a little bit, but
Keep an eye out, fucking dog.
We are faced with a
Ah, bit me.
we are faced with. I'm not looking at it.
Maybe
Fill
not
out this
smell.
paperwork and sit in that room for 6 hours, and then I'll bandage you.
it's the temple of elemental healthcare. Oh fuck. Stupid.
We are faced with a more conundrum, Shadow. It's good to have your input on this sort of thing.
Yeah, what the fuck do you want? He's like trying to look back and forth.
The
Yeah.
pumpkin seed. Our current roles as curates. The long-term goal of defeating Zibitmoy. The shorter-term goal of preventing human sacrifice in the name of a demon. As well as whatever threat the pumpkin seed leads to the entire town of Omelette.
Right. Kill the pumpkin seed.
How?
He just starts playing with the 200 arrows in his back.
That ought to do it.
Do we split up to try to achieve these goals? Do we try
No,
to...
we all go together. Stupid.
Well, one team, the Team Egghead, could remain here to infiltrate the temple, and the other team could go and, I don't know, bring all of our goods to Homlet and save the town.
Myself, Crusher.
Oh, pick me! Pick me!
Ptolemy, and I suppose the fire marshal. Fire marshal would be a problem.
He's gonna be a fucking problem. Crushes like his now like, oh shit.
It's gonna wake up face down in a puddle. I'll have drowned in a 1-inch puddle of water.
That doesn't leave many to go.
Maybe I didn't make myself clear. There's going to be no human sacrifice while I'm here.
That leaves us.
There
with
is
two-
that.
That leaves us with 2 options, and one of them I doubt you'll agree with. You can try to leave before this human sacrifices.
That won't be happening either.
As I said, that leaves us with a singular option of attempting to disrupt the ability or event of human sacrificing.
Do you want my opinion? You wanna do that shit? Do it now. All of these bastards are inside that damn tent. Ain't gonna have a better chance. However, shitstorm's gonna hit as soon as they come out.
I wonder if I can call in a favor.
Yeah, what do you need, buddy?
Not from you.
Suit yourself. Favor from Shadow. Ooh, many would die for that.
Where you got favors from?
I don't know if I have any favors. That's the problem. But
Well, fuck, I'll
if
I'll
I
call
can
it some favors.
if I can convince Isolde to pack up that circus and leave with all those temple people inside, that would ease our problem significantly.
I believe you're a genius on some stages in your life, and go to try this favor. Try it now, you fool.
Here's the problem. Similar to the problem that I might have created. In fact, problems that I have created. Short-term gain for long-term loss.
What is the
The
long-term
ends
loss?
never justify the means.
All Alright, but if we don't succeed on this try, then we won't have a circus to give us information on a following try.
It's not the first time we've met the circus.
Right, but this will be the first time that we at the circus leave with a large number of experimental subjects.
I think your plan is brilliant. Even if they only left for, I don't know, a few days, it would give us plenty of time to poke around.
I agree.
Is she there? And then all we have to deal with is the fuckers out there.
Well, and the critters they left inside, like Mr. Roper.
Yeah, he's just a big, squishy sack of crap.
Yeah, but you see, now it becomes...
They obviously wouldn't have had some master craftsman craft a whole bunch of creepy crap that would be in this place. What's in the room?
Yes, why do you keep on going in there? Ew, there's some sort of dissection going on.
It's a partially completed flesh golem.
Oh, interesting. Squish, it's your cousin. Tommy steps in.
All right, now the adults can talk. All right, now we can lay her all out. Okay, so we need to get you fire marshal back in the tent there to make your deal, and if the Supreme Commander guy did what Alkur said, he might be going into the circus, getting him out of the picture for a couple of days. That'll certainly ease things up a bit. Maybe your girly friend could just, like, bend time to be real slow in there. Or real fast.
I'm not
whichever way.
positive exactly what her abilities are. I'm just hoping she can do this for us.
So, what you gonna give her in trade?
A favor, I suppose.
Yeah, but favors from dead men usually don't go so well.
This dead man comes back, though.
Fair enough.
Why don't you write her a note? Something that she... or not a note, perhaps something that she could prove to yourself when... if you meet again.
And that's why, Squish, you are more than the sum of your parts, he says.
Squish is garbage you had animated.
Watch your mouth.
He didn't mean that.
I mean, every word.
Hey, Darian, I like your idea. You should get going.
Yeah.
You want to save those people? It's probably the best idea we got so
Sooner
far.
the better. I'm sure a lot of them are going to be coming out once the dividing of prisoners starts.
Yes.
Let's start.
They're expecting half, by the way, Crush.
What did you agree
divide,
to?
and then you're supposed to give them half.
Right. Darian, hurry up.
Strangely team building, some of their practices. Not what I would have expected on the face of it.
Oh, that's nice.
They're coming
Yeah,
together,
good team.
sharing,
Team that
returning
works
what has been
together.
shared. It's
Team
kind of
that
like
works
taxation.
together. Team that works together gets shot with an arrow together.
What?
All multiple arrows, anyways.
I don't think that's how
was
that
ever
goes.
said ever.
Said now.
Alright,
It's gotta be true.
Crusher,
Yes.
have you ever had dreams of being large?
Yes.
I believe that secret lies within these walls. If you have any clues as to how it works.
Hey, I'd like to be big too. I'm just saying.
There was something more...
I believe you're called New Fish, and What lies within these walls for you is a mystery.
I can't
Yeah,
blame
so
my
it could be big or bigger. It could be
I
bigger than
can't lay
Crusher.
my finger on it exactly, but yes, that field of battle with all the bodies reminded me of it somehow.
She was like, bigger, I remember it bigger, what the fuck?
We'll keep our eyes open. It looks like maybe a magical effect. What do you mean, looks like? Never mind that.
That there was an orc, one that was wearing a medallion. I recognized that symbol. It was from some sort of card, a deck of cards. But I drew that symbol.
Knowledge arcane mountain man symbol.
Sure. Knowledge arcane
symbol,
or
in check to remember symbol.
knowledge arcane or knowledge occult.
Okay.
Tell me, doesn't know what's going on.
30.
Drawing powerful cards. There are several different magical cards that can have an effect upon a person. One would be a Harrow deck, which is like a magical fortune-telling deck. One could be a deck of many things. And then I think there's actually a combination between the two. It's called a Harrow deck of many things.
Oh no.
Effectively, these things spin fate, and the cards are as dangerous as they can be wheelful.
Dangerous things to play with. It is very possible that if it came from a fortune teller, there would be a harrowing deck or something similar.
Ooh, I remember those, Sis told me. I don't know why.
Yes, I think we were all there, but
I have no memory of such thing.
You know,
My memories from
what did I
that,
get? Hey, asshole, what did I get?
I don't know. I just remember Harrow decks. I don't remember the one that...
Croc, I don't know. Barely remember what I got.
You're confusing and scaring Squish.
I don't remember no fucking deck of cards either.
All right. 20 minutes has gone by.
I think we're gonna go up. Well, we're gonna take the wizard, and I think we're gonna stick the wizard in the hidey closet where the druid used to be in the prison cell.
All right, so you guys go up the stairs. Shadow, most of the tracks from the armies that have marched through here are going south, down the southern passage. There is literal dust down this side passage. There is normal foot traffic to the north, and then most of the army from levels probably 4 and 3 exited this way, the way you came in.
Shadow, you taking the lead?
Yeah. So the armies exited down here,
There's back and forth traffic from here. Yep.
and there's a lot of dust over here, you say?
Yep.
Like, no footsteps.
Well, there's signs of wear, but it is not as strong along that
This-
corridor.
This path is barely used. Let's take a look.
So, aren't we going up?
Are we going up in the Darian thing? Are we doing the Darian thing, or are we still exploring?
Make a decision.
If we should do if we can get her to close the dimensional
Let's do it now then.
gate.
They can have a
sooner than
glitch
later.
on their interdimensional portal for a couple of 40
Out
hours.
of
or something.
order.
Oh, unfortunate. Free rides for everybody.
Let's get out of here then.
What happened to the portal? I guess after that guy yelled free booze and everybody went in, it overwhelmed the portal.
All right, so you guys go up the ascending stair. I'm going to move back to level 2, which leads us back to close to where the Odiag was. You go up the stairs. You are near the Hall of Triumphant Evil, where you messed up those bugbear Doomguard. You're grabbing the wizard's body.
Yeah, well, we'll grab the wizard while we're doing.
Look, he's just resting
He's alive. It's the body's the wrong word.
He's resting so peacefully, says Ptolemy, as you had big spoon, little spooned him in between the ogre and the dead bugbear body. At Ptolemy's insistence.
He's got a spike through his tongue too, still, doesn't he? That's right.
Yes.
Okay, let's go up.
Here, 1 second.
At some point, I'm going to ask for Adam and Ahmed's backup characters.
Oh shit.
You're gonna have a Mervling English coming up your way. Just so you know.
Mervling? Nice. All right, which way are you headed?
How did we get up here? You use these stairs?
Nope. You guys went across this hall and then all the way up that way.
Oh, the circle. Okay, that's where I went.
Although you're not too sure how to get into the fire area. You taking the long way?
Yeah.
Okay, give me a D100, please.
Oops.
Oh, so 56. Okay. No encounter. You guys find yourselves passing through what is the territory owned by the Air Temple, where your captured Minotaur seems to lair, bringing you guys back up to level 1. Another percentile.
Yeah. 21.
1% away from an encounter. Alright, you're back on level 1. You make it all the way to the area where you had stored your prisoners before. Which was where?
Wasn't there.
That storage chamber here.
Yeah, down. Yeah, there. Where's the dude?
I might have dropped him.
I'll grab him from 2.
You got him?
Yeah. Sec.
So exciting, we get to go back to the circus.
Why don't we heal this guy?
Well, we don't know his temperament, and he's got that weird thing in his mouth.
Alright.
You did bandage up his hands. He's going to be out of it for some time. Much.
Besides, they said he's a wizard. If he hasn't got his spell book, what use is he to us?
Perhaps you should. Oh.
I mean, in battle, obviously his life is important.
Should we leave him a note, perhaps? A letter to say, stay calm, we'll be back to revive.
That's probably a good idea.
Don't want him
Because
running
if I
around.
woke up with a way out, I'd probably try to escape, no matter how dangerous.
We could just lock the door.
And then he'll bang on it and attract attention.
Mm-hmm.
Crusher has writing. A
writing kit
or something like that. Yeah, he has a writing kit. Let me check.
I think there's one in the party loot. You can write him a
No,
note.
Crusher has it.
Okay.
Writer's set. Yeah. He just takes a piece of paper.
Dear fucked up wizard.
He's writing a message. in the common, stay calm. Is he human?
He does look human.
Okay, stay calm. We are rescuing you. We will return as soon as we can.
Signed.
Signed,
Not evil.
Earth
guy.
Elemental. Earth Creator. No. Who had him? Was it the wind, the water element, the water?
It was some ogre in a gimp mask with the huge cleaver and a bugbear. They did not have any temple symbols.
For the jailer and the
Yep.
and the executioner guy.
Yeah, I'm wondering if I should sign at the water temple or something.
You can if you want, just because
How's
this
he-
crazy place.
How's he gonna know it was us? But at the same time, how do we make it not appear to be
Not
us? If somebody else reads the
Crazy
note.
adventurers from outside the temple.
Okay, all right.
Crazy adventurers from outside the temple.
So Crusher writes a letter using his writing kit and leaves it in the room.
That says what precisely?
It says, "Dear fucked up wizard,
Oh,
do not,
Do
for the
not.
wizard, do not panic. We are rescuing you, clearing the way. We'll be back as soon as we can. Crazy adventurers from outside the temple."
Okay.
That's a DM who did no prep for the opening opening part of the adventure. If I ever, it's just some crazy adventures. I don't know.
stupid asshole.
Right?
P.S. We still have no plans.
We have no idea what we're doing.
Do you know where the exit is? Question mark.
I'm assuming that last part is not being added.
No, it's not there.
All right.
It's our first day.
Where to now?
Outside.
Okay.
Yeah,
Shadow
outside.
and Doom regarding the doorway.
Yeah,
You guys head outside into the temple. Let me go to the temple exterior.
Oh, Marty,
Yep.
when people were leaving, the werewolves came from which floor, approximately? 'Cause there's an order, right?
Third or fourth group. Okay. Let's see. There is nobody guarding. No, your carriage is gone. The main floor is empty. There's nobody there. You get the sense that there's still lots of people outside. Not as many as initially at the beginning of the day when everyone was exiting the temple, but you can still hear voices outside. But this particular temple area on temple main floor is empty. The doors to the
Okay,
east,
we
to
make
the
our
doors
way
to
to
the
the
eastern and western altars are open. These doors, you can see in across the hall that there is a similar stairwell that leads down to level 1, and you have not explored the northern part of this room. You can see from there that there is a very large throne upon a dais.
We need to check this entire place. We haven't seen what's up there at all.
Okay, moving to the entry hall, or to the entryway. I'm going to move to temple exterior. You do see that there are quite a few crowds that are milling about. Some people have come out of the circus, but the vast majority are in the circus. Oh, I can't move them into the darkness because I'm not the DM on that view. There is an army of temple folk and villagers from Nulb and leaders that are enjoying the circus.
I'm fairly certain they already burnt down my house, so fuck them.
Or looted it. There's still a good number that are lingering behind, and you get the sense that they're slowly trickling out of the Grand Bully Circus to surround the bloated shambling mound. When are you exiting in force, or are you going individually, or dividing the party?
Krieger and Darian are going in. Someone tells Krieger to hang back.
Yeah, the brothers are going in.
Okay, looks like all of them.
Crusher, you should go in.
Why?
We're going to be wanted for the divvying as well as for the pumpkin seed.
How long should this take, Damien? Or Darian?
How should I know? Shouldn't take long as I can get right to her. Speaking of which, Oskar, I'm probably going to need another soul gem.
Are you fucking serious?
How often have I engaged with you with humor?
Well, you look funny.
Ptolemy whispers into Oscar's ear, I think you're the one that should do the transacting for the soul gem. He looks up at Darian and smiles.
Yeah. I'm going with Chuckles. Your Chuckles, by the
Darian
way.
looks around. Yeah, Darian looked around like, who's Chuckles? Because clearly that couldn't be me.
I'm coming along.
Right then.
Shall I stay or go with them?
If you stay, just don't touch anything.
I suggest going with them. But you can stay. Your spells would be useful if anything happens.
Yes, I think I'm going to stay with Alkur.
Thank you.
What about me? I better stay with you. You guys are pretty soft.
Alright,
Krieger, he kind of shoves Krieger with his fingers. Still looking pretty weak there, bud.
Ow.
Krieger pushes Crusher. Yeah.
Ow, stop that.
All right, so the trio, Oskar, Darian, and Shadow, begin.
Doom.
And Doom, yep.
You
Doom.
realize if this was the permanent party situation, I give Darian about 3 days before he loses his
Shadow and Oskar.
We'll just have to make up rules for anti-paladin. The paladin who thinks he is so. All right. Yeah, you get some looks. You get one of the trolls going, "That's the fire marshal," as the group of you push your way by. Yeah, there's a small trickle of people coming out of the Grand Bali Circus, and then what are Alkur, Crusher, Krieger, and Ptolemy doing?
I think we're like slowly, oh so slowly, like mingling and talking and doing that. Like I am heading towards the thing, but I am visible in the range of the thing, and I'm heading towards it, but at the slowest human possible rate of speed.
Okay, you do see that they are gathering people up into groups of prisoners chained and roped together, and that there are what look like 4 distinct groups of captives that are being formed.
Which one has the old lady?
We'll just say the first one does, group 1. Yep.
Are they about the same size?
Yeah, they look like they are divvying things as equally as possible. However, there is not a divisible by 4. there seems to be an extra person at the end, and they're making cruel jokes about what to do with this one.
Being quartered.
I guess your food. Oh, please, no! Hey, you, giants. We need to quarter this one.
Should he not be given to the greater temple as an offering?
Huh? Ah, the guards look like they wanted to have some fun, and
Apparently, this fire guy is just a nerd.
yeah, exactly. Give me a diplomacy
Why
check.
don't you just tell them we need homework for the weekend too?
Give me a diplomacy check as you're trying to convince a couple of the gnolls that this would be a better.
25.
But we want to watch the giants pull a man apart. The giants are now banging on the cage with this one guy in it, making lots of noise and scaring him, rocking the cage.
Deny the greater temple.
Who speaks for the greater temple? These 4 blackguard come wandering over when they hear the greater temple being... he does! How dare you speak for us? Stop that! 2 of the giants do, and one's still stupidly, banging the back of the wagon until...
I do not mean to overstep my position, but I was asked to procure offerings for the greater temple, and apparently we do not have a divisible number of offerings this year. I figured the remainder should be going to the greater temple as
Good
only
choice.
a practical state of affairs.
You give odds to the greater temple, huh? He switches to goblin. This new fire priest thinks he's smart. We get more food, more sacrifices. We agree with fire temple. We take odds. This relieves you somewhat, but then there's a slow creeping horror that comes in that they haven't done this to this day.
They haven't figured out that, no, you just have to kill that one. It needs to be divisible by 4. We got 7, we have to kill 3. just outright, not even for the ritual. Just kill them. Yeah. It's like, And next we'll learn about taking turns.
You knock that off.
This a line. You stand in it.
The one giant dimly looking at you like you spoiled his fun. Goes kicking at the ground and stomping back over.
What type of giants are they?
Oh, they're hill giants.
Do they have temple markings?
The greater temple maybe.
Give Krieger a second with his hammer, they'll have temple markings, all right.
Put a little fire symbol in the Krieger's hammer. Or is Krieger Earth guy?
Earth.
Krieger's wearing an
We're
earth.
gonna be Team Lava.
Lava Force, go!
All right.
Ha ha ha. Also stupid, but I love it.
Okay. The others make their way into the Grand Bali Circus, and I need to switch maps apparently.
Yes, we have finally achieved maximum annoyance.
It's not a big deal. The computer that runs MapTool server is right here. Although saving the campaign, it is pretty big. It is le big. All right, it is nighttime. There's a slight sinister edge to the Grand Bali Circus. Perhaps people are drunker, perhaps more garish costumes, a little bit of both, as those things need not be mutually exclusive. Alkur is not there, Bone Crusher is not there, Krieger is not there, which leaves us with
Alright.
Darian, Doom, Shadow, and,
All right.
and Oskar.
Professor working the money changers.
You go to the money changers, and the professor is not working the money changers.
All right, we quickly change 100 silver pieces into chits
Okay.
because
200 shits.
no, 100 silver pieces is 100 chits. Because chits ain't buying us shit. We need to go get. We need enough silver worth of chits so that we can get into the freak shows. So we're going to the sideshow.
Okay. You quickly head to the sideshow. Give me a percentile to see if you have any encounters on the way.
83.
No encounters along the way. The sideshow is busy, much noisy, like very noisy, and there's lots of people like outright making fun of the freaks in the sideshow.
Okay, the professor was supposed to meet us by the sideshow
Yep, the professor is in his exhibit,
with his people.
and you
Alright, so we will.
and you can hear him. So you pay entry into the sideshow, which
Was
is
it 5 each or was it 15 each?
I think it was more like 5.
5 each? Yeah, yeah. Okay. All right. So we will pay the. All right, 85 chits left.
Will you not handle the pickled punks? But this one's funny looking. They're all funny looking, and you can look at them without handling them. This guy's got a stick up his ass. I'll shove my axe up his ass. Careful. You don't want your skin to burn off.
What robes are they wearing? Or are they just?
There seems to be a lot of Earth Temple folk because they had a lot of grunts. They seem to be Earth Temple, and they kind of go scrambling off. They do notice that your group doesn't have any temple leaders.
But I do have a temple robe on. I'll tell him to go fuck himself.
All right, one of them just bobs his head at Oskar and doesn't say anything. Is
And we have a fire marshal.
Yes, the fire marshal is the fire marshal because he wields the fiery sword and not because he's wearing any of the evil temple garb. So they may not have put 2 and 2 together.
Well, when the fiery sword comes out, then they'll know. They'll know they fucked up.
There, don't get upset. The bad man is gone. The bad man is gone. You can hear a clink from like a big pickle jar or mason jar being put.
Hey, speak of the devil.
There are no devils around here. He smiles. Come in. I'm due for a break anyways. And he goes and switches the sign to exhibit closed and then pulls the string back. He sees all of you. He looks at Oskar like, are these guys okay?
Desperate times. Everybody's okay.
Okay, he seems very unsure of Darian.
So he should be.
Hey, Darian, you want to wait outside for a second?
Not particularly.
Come on, I'll come with you.
Want
You
to
don't
talk
have to
to
be
Lady
scared.
Britches or not?
Fine, I'll wait outside. Don't dawdle.
Oh, Oscar's there, smoking a fat stogie, sipping her brandy, feet on the table.
Okay, you're gonna walk in.
Just hear from down the way. Pitter patter.
Is Shadow walking into this
Get her
little
in.
exhibit, or
Yeah, sure.
okay? Doom growls a little bit at these moving pickled punks in bottles, in big mason jars. There's like 26 of them in the room, with several other jars that are empty, but there is brine within them. You notice that he's got like a stick. At first you thought it was a shoehorn, but he's not using it for such. He's using it to scratch his back. He's like, oh, damn it. Yeah.
Need a hand with that?
No, that's all right. Very kind of you to offer. Your half-orc friend should either come in or out.
Get in here, Shadow. Or fuck off. Pick one.
Okay, I'm confused. I thought I was in.
Okay, there's a cornered off area, and Darian is outside of it.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Now I see
Yep.
it.
Yep. Ah. Well, it is good to see you, Oskar. I'm glad that you decided to take me up on my offer of a bit of a job.
It's gotta be something quick.
Yes. Well, we have been living here under the yoke of a horrible fiend.
Oskar is lying on the outside, but inside he's going, good thing Darian's taking a walk. Or maybe this guy just has golden chits on his personage because taking off his broken and beaten corpse. That'll solve the problem.
You see, there is one here who controls with an iron fist this great and wondrous circus.
Who might that be?
Ah. The truth is that we're all freaks here, all transformed into monsters by one true horror at the heart of the carnival. Isolde herself. What have you been told so far? That Isolde is a beneficent patron? That the twisting is some bizarre form of justice? Perhaps Madame Fortuna offered you some fumbling theories of mystical prisons and fallen angels.
Nah, that bitch was taking a nap.
Right. Resting upon her victory, growing lazy and like a pharaoh of old, removed from her people. If you've been told to this point, all these things so far have been lies. A lie those freaks tell themselves to avoid the real truth. A lie that makes their existence tolerable. Fortunately, some of us have had the courage to face the truth of our situation, bleak as it may be. Damn itch. Give me a... Well, actually, no. He didn't have this before, but there seems to be a bump on his back. Like maybe a grapefruit-sized bump. He seems to be itching at the bump.
You're kind of a little bit more hunched than you were this morning.
Oh.
Got some kind of Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde thing going on.
A very old story. No. I am quite lucid, and I am always me. I can sum up
I always heard it as a warning about alchemy.
I can sum up a Madame Fortuna's hobbled explanation of the twisting in a few words. And I can be more accurate than her. Fortuna believes Isolde is an angel cast down from the heavens. She is correct that Isolde is an inhuman entity of immense power, one which originates in a plane of existence beyond here. The mistake that Fortuna and her kind, however, has made is they fail to ask the point of origin for such a creature. They peer at the skies as sundered as they may be, when they should be looking down, down, down. Here's the pure truth. Isolde is a demon. And the twisting is caused by her reality wrinkle. You look confused.
Slightly.
Perhaps I have overestimated your ability to grasp such things. Nevertheless, I still think that you, and perhaps you, could help me.
Alright.
You see, I have allies. During one of my sabbaticals, away from the freak show, I've made some very powerful allies, and this ally opened my eyes to Isolde's true nature. And while I found all of these questions vexing before, I am now convinced of it. What I need from...
Friend of yours.
Oh. Perhaps I could arrange an introduction if you help me. First, I will need your proof of loyalty. You see, I have come to believe that her distaste for the laws of others have bled into the carnival. Observe the formless and shifting nature of the twisting. All this indicates she is a creature of chaos. I now possess designs for magic circles of protection and binding against her demonic power. Isolde's reign of terror is coming to an end, and I would rid us all of this corruption. I have constructed a mystic cage, piece by piece. We have been installing it here, and all that is left to do is to gather the fiend's phylactery, which I have come to believe is her sword.
Alright, so you want me to borrow her sword?
Yes, and I would be willing to pay quite handsomely for it.
What's the sword name?
It is that ostentatiously large two-hander that she has with her. You cannot miss it. It bears her symbol, and he goes over to a piece of paper, and the Grand Bali Circus with the skull and the ring of teardrops. He points not to that symbol of the circus, but points to the big stamp at the bottom.
How are we going to get access to her?
Well, you still have that golden ticket.
Nah, I need another one. That's why I'm here, isn't it?
Someone tricked you out of that.
No. The good trade. Good magic.
Yeah. I sure hope it was. We do get, under her rules, we do get some sort of bonus when we hand in those golden shits at the end of the night. She also wants to know about who bought it. Careful. She is a clever demon.
So I need one of those chits.
Yes. You're going to do this for me so that...
See the conundrum, right?
I'm waiting for you to... perhaps in your dwarven culture, you're waiting for me to open the bidding.
Pretty much.
10,000 silver coins.
20.
12, and I'll introduce you to a friend of mine on the outside.
Takes over for the lady when she's locked up.
Not your concern.
Well, I'm thinking I get a discount on all my transactions here for the henceforth, so I think it is my concern.
A discount of a rate to be determined at a future date. I'd hate to promise you something that I cannot deliver.
Oscar's gonna put his hand out.
12,000 silver coins.
And
future-
none of this chit bullshit.
A future
Coins.
discount and an arranged meeting. And this buys both the deed and your silence.
I know not but silence.
He glances to Shadow.
You might want to bribe him, though.
Ah.
He seems pretty silent. I don't know. Shadow's not saying pay me.
I'm easily bribable.
I have to negotiate with each of you individually.
I'm just wondering if he's...
Nah, just give it to Oscar. He'll negotiate on my behalf.
Alright, 12,000's good then.
The dog is just a wolf. I don't have to negotiate with you either. Backs away.
You wouldn't mind a fish.
Now, oh, if you'll excuse me, I need... happening to him, and it looks really painful.
He's being twisted. Yeah, you're gonna have an extra head coming out of your butthole or something.
Okay, well he's shooing you out, and it gets only so far to kind of push you out of the place. He
Okay.
loosely closes the tent, but you could hear him kind of fall to the floor. Ah!
He's birthing little things.
Boop! There's kind of a popping sound and like a little bit of a splash.
I checked the desk.
Yeah, you had grabbed the thing and got the
Okay.
token.
You can get your own pickled punk straight out of the oven.
Yes, don't worry, I have a spot for you. Get in there. No, get in there. Bloosh. Gling.
Oscar
Ugh.
actually appreciates this man's ability to turn a crap situation into a source of profit.
I actually kind of thought he would.
Well, I took these horrible birthing out of my back.
Shadow's like, oh.
Here. Doom is just growling at the tent.
Oscar's also thinking that would be the time to just sort of accidentally step on his throat. Alright, we'll start walking. Good distance between us and the tent.
Okay.
Darian. Is that Darian? Darian. So, Miss Ladypants, you still feeling alright? All like shiny and righteous and indignant.
Why?
You want to see how shiny I'm feeling? He just kind of puts a hand on his sword, like, I can make it glow.
Like rain.
So, you're pretty certain that she's not like a demon, right?
Yep.
Like, really certain?
Yep.
Well, see if you can get her sword. Gonna hand Darian the ticket.
Okay. You want me to get what?
Your sword.
Why?
Alright, here's your options. If there's any inkling that you think she's a demon, you need to bring back a sword. Otherwise, it would just be really good for my business reputation if you brought back the sword. also try to like get the thing stopped and all that other stuff. That's also a good thing to do. Otherwise, I might have somebody, you,
You're not giving him much, you know
if
that.
they come back for me, because they will, you gotta protect my ass. Because you were too much of a wuss to, love her and then walk out with her sword. I mean, it's basically standard practice, I thought. Just take a memento, no problem. Just grab the sword on the way out. She's all tired.
Sometimes
You go.
when you speak, it hurts my head to the point I can no longer understand what you're saying.
You go in.
She's not a demon, and I'm not taking her sword.
You make the wooing. She's tired. You go like, I did a good job. How about you close the door?
We're not doing that.
On the way out, when she's taking a nap, you just borrow that. So you could leave her another sword. Leave her not salamander.
It's
That thing's way
activities
too
like
nice.
this which will result in you forever never having a family. Just so you know.
Oskar stares off blankly for a few seconds in an awkwardly long period at mention of his family.
Yep. You have the image of your hands wringing Debot's neck. You now know the name of your brother.
You're welcome.
I had a family once. It ended kind of how you'd expect.
Darian's like, yeah. We reap what we sow.
Yep.
All right, we start hustling over to the what was it? The mistress's tent.
Okay. One, it is guarding dutifully. Two, it's just off to the side a little bit. Three, it is totally distracted. Okay, so the thin Jurat is standing right in front of the tent of justice, guarding it dutifully. It turns its weird head towards you. It's has no orifices. It's staring at the group of you as you crest the corner.
You're not allowed to enter that shit?
Well, if you don't remember last time, this fucker chases you around. He's all grabby.
Yep. So we start heading in.
Okay. He doesn't seem to leave his spot. He does watch you though. You heading to her wagon?
Yep.
Okay.
Remember, when she's tired.
Oh, by the five faces, that's not happening.
You could leave her a pile of the silver chits or something.
That would be even more insulting, I would only imagine.
What do you mean? I don't understand why leaving some money would be insulting.
You want to leave her some raw meat?
Well,
Trust
I
me.
have no doubt that every encounter you have with a woman is a transactional nature. That is not the case for most.
I beg to differ. Says the single man.
So he knocks on the door.
Okay. No one answers at the at her wagon.
Okay, we'll check ask the Sphinx. Hey, what's her name?
Yeah, you
Where's your
actually
golden tent.
you actually
Right.
you can hear some conversation at the Golden Tent.
Okay, yeah, we'll head over there.
All right, there is a guard at the Golden Tent. He literally takes a breath and seems to grow about 2 or 3 inches, like he puffs out his chest.
Darian presents the golden.
Where did you get this?
A guy.
Oh, all right. Just really low, croaky